Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now,
you are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. It's T-minus 1 day till Friday as we broadcast from swamp adjacent. Yeah, we are swamp adjacent. You can smell the sewage in the air in northern Virginia, and that's actually coming from the Virginia State House. The Potomac River starting to clear up. It's just that Abigail Scamberger is the governor, and so it kind of stinks. But anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. Did you hear what CNN said about Trump's speech the other night?
among speech watchers tonight, 64% say his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction.
What?
And look at the growth President Trump made over the speech. So pre-speech, it was 54% of speech watchers said his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction.
Yeah.
After the speech, that number goes up 10 percentage points. So
This is CNN viewers.
Trump made some progress with people watching the speech. From
97% of the time, Donald Trump has been savaged on this network for 10 years.
their pre-speech expectations to what they saw in the speech itself. And that 64%
They were going to call themselves the Trump is Hitler network.
number, that's pretty much in range across all of his State of the Union addresses. In his first term, last year, the joint session, that's about what we've seen, is roughly two-thirds.
Yeah, but you know, this speech was pretty darn historic because a couple of things. He took the gloves off with the Democrats and pointed out their insanity. Pointed out their absolute insanity, and then also talked about positives, all of the great things that are happening, talked about the country being awesome, talked about patriotism, had a bunch of Medal of Honor recipients there, gave them medals and stuff, gave a Purple Heart out there, invited the U.S. men's hockey team in there. What did I say? What did I say about what it's going to take to defeat the left? What did I tell you that we would have to do? We would have to, A, get the message out in a vacuum of any good news being reported by places like CNN, and by the way, a lot of the networks are now reporting good news on Donald Trump. I know. And then we got to overwhelm them with patriotism and joy. And here's Jim Gossett as the president saying that. The Rob Carson Show.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative.
Well, mostly.
Latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between.
Nope.
State of the Union scored. Approval rate, how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore.
No, we're not going to be run over.
Inflation's low.
It is.
Employment's high.
Yeah, it is.
The Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure.
Yeah, it is.
Illegals aren't
That's true.
jetting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between.
There you go. And he's giving the Democrats a little what for. Here is Hakeem Jeffrey saying the exact opposite of the truth. The Democrat Party, as I've told you, they are dying like movie vampires. They're doing a death spin into the pits of hell. And here he is saying the opposite of what everyone knows is true. He was in control. Donald Trump was in control the other night. Donald Trump harangued the Democrat Party, called them out for their not only just their support of illegals over American citizens, but their insanity in general. And then 75 of these jackweeds went outside and danced with people in inflatable frog costumes and giraffe costumes and acted like morons. But here is Hakeem Jeffries saying the opposite of the truth.
And so we're on the backside of the State of the Union address. It did nothing to help out.
No, CNN actually just said it did. It was 10 points. He went up 10 points in favorability just during the speech.
Donald Trump's case to the American people, he's falling apart. His poll numbers
No. No, he's
are an
not.
extinction level event.
No, they aren't.
It's over for these extremists.
No, actually, the opposite is true. It's really over for you guys.
They've lost 14 months consecutively of meaningful elections.
No, they've actually done a lot of things, and liberal bastions won in Virginia because of Fairfax and Loudoun County, among other places, and then places where people, like for instance, stayed away from the left, like Miami, and ran a candidate. That's where they won, really.
Literally every single
The New Jersey governorship was actually kind of a gimme for Democrats anyway.
election that has been held since Donald Trump's first month in office.
You keep telling yourself that, sunshine, but all of the good news is saying just the opposite. And the more that we go on with positives and all of the things that the president said the other night, the crazier the left is. This is a little montage of the harpies from hell. Gosh darn it. The View, as they just sound so alike. The View after their speech. How do you suppose they felt about it?
Well,
Oh boy.
last night was the longest State of the Union speech in American
I know,
history.
it was really awesome. I loved
So
it.
when he says it next time, it's the longest ever in American history. Actually, it's correct.
It's the one thing he said that's not a lie.
Oh my God, could you imagine having to listen to those voices every day?
True.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and I was physically ill from it, and more nauseous
Well, you kind of make me feel that way when I watch The View.
than usual watching him.
Yeah. In fact, right now, I shouldn't have eaten that fruit.
The way he was demonizing immigrants made me sick.
Just illegals and the Democrats who brought them
It
here.
made me sick. This country, I was saying to my husband, and it just made me so, it made me feel really sad. That
You know, when he gave out the awards to the heroes and stuff. you know.
that's the reason America has
And
been
I watched the whole thing too. I almost fell asleep because it was so boring, actually.
worse
parts of
than
it.
him are the sycophants
Yes.
and the acolytes who are praising him.
You
And
know, I have been kind of saying I'll never get married again, and the more I hear those women, the more I'm like, yeah, you know what, I kind of like living by myself. I really kind of enjoy it. I'm not saying all women are like that, but dear God. Anyway, this is kind of interesting. I said yesterday over the show yesterday, I talked about how frequently those who are unrighteous try to take down the righteous, and they make fun of the righteous, and they make fun of them, and they hurl rocks at them, and then finally when things start to turn around, they regret what they've done. And Gutfeld last night kind of echoed that, because the more positives that come out of this administration, the more negative the left is going to become, as though that is even possible. And again, this goes to my Democrats doing a death spiral into hell and dying like movie vampires.
Angrier and more sullen than Dems are, the more effective and successful Trump's policies are. It's almost like watching that carnival game where you take a large mallet and you hit the lever and it rings a bell. It's like anything Trump says, his success is measured by this explosion of envy and resentment that you see on the other side. That every instance, Dems become like the villain.
Because they can't be a part of the joy. They can't be a part of this real joy and success because they've demonized it for so many years, starting with the country and masculinity and this president. So they can't be on the right side. So they have to continue to spiral out of control.
In the climax of a movie where the hero saves the town and gets the girl, the evil conspirator is glaring from a police car window. Sometimes at the end, he'll smile and go, you know what? Maybe he is right after all. But they never will. Trump's figured out the secret sauce.
What's that?
If you want to do America right and own the libs, just succeed.
Yes.
Because the Dems hate your success and will reveal their dark hearts by not applauding the good things you do. So you help the country, you own the libs. It's like a win-win.
Yes.
I have to point out Ilhan Omar.
Oh, yeah.
She repulses me.
Oh,
and I'm
dear
trying
God.
to find out why. Because she's not unattractive. She has
Is it because she doesn't have a soul?
an unusual amount and kind of anger.
Is it because she got really rich, with $30 million of, with having a winery that didn't produce any wine?
She has no right to that level of rage.
Is it because she hates America so much, even though it's given her everything that she has?
In the United States of America, the country who gave her corrupt ass a new life. It's not like she's a homeless Vietnam vet who can't get services and should be enraged at the government. She should be kissing the ground she walks on instead of spitting on it.
Yeah.
And her anger is also reminds me of the radical who, given power, would destroy you.
Yeah.
She would show no...
That's what they do. That's what Democrats do. They tried to do that with us. They tried to do it with the MAGA movement. They did it with the Tea Party movement.
No mercy for you. If you were...
They're already threatening to do it again if they get both houses of Congress in the midterms, which they're not going to.
Below her. Like, the look on her face is somebody who would step on your neck instead of giving you a hand.
Absolutely, 100%. And again, they're spiraling out of control. And Donald Trump the other night was the first person to actually state the obvious, and it resonated.
Nobody stands up. These people are crazy.
They are.
I'm telling you.
They're
crazy.
Yeah. You're insane. It's obvious. We need to keep driving that home. Anybody who thinks a little boy can become a little girl and compete in girl sports, you're out of your friggin' nut. You've always been out of your friggin' nuts. You were able to hold sway. You were able to tell us we were wrong. You were able to tell us that we were this phobic and that phobic, and we were this ist, and we were is, and we had an ism, honestly. But not anymore, because you're frickin' nuts. The president said that. If you don't believe me, listen to this moron. This is a non-binary lesbian. Tell me what the hell that means. Do they cancel each other out? Is she just a girl? So it's non-binary lesbian. So you've chosen sides with the lesbian, but you're non-binary, which means you're lesbian, but you don't claim to be male or female. What the hell? Honestly, what the hell is wrong with you? And listen to the words this, whatever it is, makes up.
Generally, the kids describe this as status maxing, gesture maxing, and aura mogging.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, those are three words that had never existed before this week.
Let me break that down for you. So, gesture maxing is like playing to the crowd and trying to get people.
How about stupid maxing? You are friggin' pegging out the stupid-o-meter.
Well, you know,
yeah,
like
which he's very good at.
Status maxing is aligning
Your
himself
clothes aren't non-binary. You're wearing a suit and tie.
with people like the men's hockey team and like his success and trying to status max. These things are seen as very uncool by the kids, by the way.
Who even cares?
And then aura mogging is when you take the shine of someone who's actually quite successful or good, maybe some of his guests, maybe the
No, you celebrate people when they're successful.
World War II veterans he honored, maybe again the men's hockey team, and you are aura mogging. You are stealing their shine for yourself.
You're crap sandwich eating.
Because you do not inhibit yourself.
Oh
the
my
aura
God.
Alone. So that was the vibes of how the kids were talking about.
Here's why the vibes are important.
And what did the president say? He said, you people are freaking out of your minds. And you are, by the way.
These people are crazy.
There you go.
I'm telling you. They're crazy.
So overwhelm them with joy and patriotism and literally just point out the fact that they're out of their freaking minds. All right, so I've got actually some amazing audio from the network saying that what Donald Trump was doing. The foundation of the left is collapsing. I told you, it's a house of cards built on sand, and it is beginning to collapse. All of that is coming up on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Right back.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between. State of the Union scored, approval rate how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore. Inflation's low, employment's high. The Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure, illegals aren't getting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between.
With Epstein, I often used to hang before I left his place. I went out with a bang, Jeffrey invited me, and I would go again, was in a hot tub on the island of sin. Hillary said it was philanthropy. That was her way of covering for me with stupid claims like that. We're never gonna win was in a hot tub on the island of sin. You'd think my wife would be filled with rage because the gals down there, they were underage. You see, a caring spouse Hillary has never been was in a hot tub on the island of sin.
WCVM.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
There you go. So that was the call to stand. It's fairly simple. It's a simple question. Let's hear it again.
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
There you go. It's that simple. So you had the opportunity to stand and support that. It's very simple. It was as simple as, this guy over here deserves a Medal of Honor. It was that simple, but Democrats chose not to stand during that. And it kind of reminded me, actually, of this scene from a very popular movie.
Oh, yeah. Stand up and take a bow.
And that Democrats don't stand, and Republicans are laughing at them now. There you go. Yeah. You guys really blew that, man. I gotta tell you, you won't even stand for the American people over. You just screwed the pooch, man. You just run a campaign ad until 2026 midterms. My God, it's fantastic. That's exactly what they did. I mean, they really screwed the pooch. And they really showed who they are. But here's Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, listen to this. He has no answer. The gargoyle with osteoporosis, Chuck Schumer. This is what he had to say, a non-answer, because honestly, they were caught with their pants down. And in Chuck Schumer's case, you do not want to see that.
When he asked you all to stand, let me play that moment.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, here comes Schumer.
So you didn't stand,
it's
Democrats
Donald Trump
didn't stand?
Yeah.
Well, what did you think when he asked him to stand?
Bottom line is very simple. We agree we need to protect Americans.
He said, well, he should be ashamed of himself. And then of course, John Berman is like, but, and he goes, well, Well, everybody agrees with that. I mean, honestly, wow. Here's Pramila Jayapal with an equally stupid response to an obvious stand up and support the American people scenario.
I want to talk about one tactic the president used last night, calling on members to stand, especially this one moment. Take a look.
Here it is again. Here's your choice.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support.
Okay.
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
So stand if you support the citizens, stand if you support the aliens. And they chose to sit.
You should be ashamed of yourself, not standing.
I love that line, too. That's one of my favorites.
Shame of
you. Shame on you, you little...
And that second part, addressing the Democrats who stayed seated, the president clearly trying to box Democrats in there. What was the message Democrats who stayed seated were intending to send?
Listen.
The message is that he's the one who should be ashamed of himself.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You know, you think I should be ashamed? No, you should. I know you are, but what am I? That's what they just said. The Democrat Party is saying, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Here is Jared Moskowitz. His father was in American Tail, I believe, a Disney movie years and years and years ago. But no, Jared Moskowitz, and he was on with what's his name, Rance from Seattle Radio, is a conservative out there, being asked about the spinning, not sitting in support of American citizens, but not standing in support of American citizens, but sitting in support of illegal aliens.
The president was setting up Democrats in a really simple and easy way.
Jason Rance,
they shouldn't have fallen for it. It seems pretty easy to stand up and say, actually, no, I support American people first. That is where I stand. Yeah. And we can have a nuanced conversation afterwards if you want about illegal immigration. But they walked into that trap because it was so easy to set.
And here is Jared Moskowitz literally saying the opposite of what the Democrat says about illegal aliens, because you see they brought in illegal aliens by the tens of millions and they loaded them up with free crap, and they've been slathering love and tax dollars all over them for years and years and years and years and years. And as illegal residents of Democrat-run states leave, they're filling up their census with illegals. You see, they love illegals. They want to keep illegals at all costs. But here's Jared Moskowitz.
But that's not true. I mean, I stand for...
Most Democrats did not stand.
I stand for Americans over non-citizens.
Then why didn't you?
Go to all of my colleagues, but just...
then why they didn't?
Because... It's not the Galactic Senate. Just because the Emperor says rise doesn't mean I get up. Like I'm a different branch of government. I rose for the heroes that were in the gallery.
Except for the woman who was stabbed to death by the illegal alien in Charlotte.
But not for the other point. I mean, you rose because and. Thank you for rising. I think in those cases that this is
I'm going to have to see the tape on that.
An easy moment to be united.
Sure.
Whether it's around Team USA or it's around any of the people who were featured there. But that's sending a message.
Now, you did send a message. It sent a message, and there's no denying the message was sent. And you can do all you want. You could try to act and kind of backtrack on it. But you sat. You had a simple scenario. There were many messages, many opportunities for you to stand. There literally was. He said, stand if. He didn't just announce, the U.S. Olympic team. Please stand. He didn't say, war hero over here, World War II hero. Please stand. He said, here's the deal. If you support American citizens over illegals, stand. And they chose to sit. There's no debate about this. They made it very clear. It's on the tape. My God, you could bring in a sports announcer and they could, do the play-by-play of it. And look, they're sitting over here. They're sitting over here. All of this nonsense. It is ridiculous to say otherwise. You were given a choice and you sided with illegals. And why do I know that? A, because visual evidence of it actually happened, and B, the last 4 years of you actually supporting the policy over the safety and security of the American citizen. Hence the open border, no concern about death for fentanyl, no concern about trafficking women and children for sex and labor. Please, we're not stupid. From Canada, Michael Charbon joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. A well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets to keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/Newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Newsmax.
What now for us? Hillary's worry. We had to agree to testify. Comer had us over a barrel. Must say that he's a tenacious guy. If I tell the truth about Epstein, about each and every single teen, I'll go to jail. Hillary too. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What now for us? Now we have no choice but go to D.C. and testify. We have to lie.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Was that a chipmunk?
Yes, it was.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Oh, beauty, go.
Take off to the great white north. Take off.
It's a beauty way to go.
Take off to the great white north.
Now, for those of you who don't know, you millennials who were born when Bob and Doug McKenzie came out, they're two Canadian comedians there, and they did this parody of these two guys named Bob and Doug McKenzie, and they were Canadian, and they talked about drinking beer, and they were very popular in the like 1983, 84. So that's why we do that, and we also use it to introduce Michael Charbon of the Charbon Report from Canada. How are you doing, my friend?
Rob Carson, I'm doing great. You can't have a better time to watch hockey and be able to drink beer at 6 in the morning. I mean,
now,
come on.
have you noticed that I have not gloated for the 2 victories by the American hockey teams over Canada's men and women? Have you noticed I haven't sent you a text? I haven't sent you anything, because you know what? That's not who I am. And I got to tell you, respect to both teams, you got to understand. I mean, the history of the men's victory, that was pretty big. But hard fought wins, brother, in overtime. Even though you guys are complaining about the 3-on-3, hard fought wins.
I've got to say kudos to the American team, particularly the Quinn brothers. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
The Hughes brothers, I should say. Quinn Hughes did the overtime goal in the semifinal to get you to the gold medal, and then his brother Jack, New Jersey Devil, scored the OT and the goal. I mean, that's wonderful. If you look at both those teams, being the men's and the women's, both American and Canadian, when you get to overtime, you both have got that. When you get to a gold and silver medal, you've both achieved a level of excellence. And, I mean, I think it's absolutely wonderful for the United States. 250th birthday, both of them win gold.
Yeah, man.
And, I mean, that plays into Donald Trump's golden age. Of course, as a Canadian, we would have loved to have won, but that's hockey, man.
Yeah, well, it's
overtime, someone scores a goal. The goals weren't crappy, and the refs didn't play into it. So I thought that was most important.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I think that there was a spirit of fellowship. I don't think there was anybody rubbing anybody's face in it and whatnot. I just, it is a proud moment for America. And by the way, there's been a lot of rigmarole about Donald Trump saying to the men's hockey team, because it was that night, he called them in the locker room and he said, "We're going to have to invite the women too. Otherwise, we're going to get impeached." That wasn't no bull crap. Don't even go there. He did not do that to say, "Oh, I guess we'll have to invite the women." He was on with the men, and he said, "I'd better invite the women, or I'm going to get impeached." That was not the diss that everybody said. And by the way, the women's team does not take it as a diss. That is a whole bunch of crap. It's just a bunch of harpies from hell, a bunch of angry, non-binary lesbians or whatever who want to just take all the joy out of everything. And so what? Nonsense.
You're correct.
Nonsense on all that.
You're correct, Rob. Here
Yes.
was the logical component. The women's team, part of the women's team, some of them had already left after the game.
Yeah.
Because some of them couldn't stay for the closing ceremonies. The men's team was still intact when they were called.
Yes.
So, I mean, let's just give it a break. I mean, there's no dish.
No.
Listen, the very first women's hockey game in the Olympics was won by the United States, and they played Canada.
There you go. Now here is Hillary Knight of the U.S. women's hockey team.
There's a genuine level of support there and respect, and I think that's being overshadowed by sort of a quick lapse. And I think the guys were in a tough spot, so it's a shame that sort of this storyline and narrative is kind of blown up.
Now, we are proud of both the men's and the women's team. And I tell you, both times I opened the show with audio from the winning goal. And both times I was just as proud, because I got to tell you something. It's a much tougher road to hoe to be a woman athlete, to try to make a living as a female athlete in this country, because women's hockey ain't exactly paying millions of dollars a year in the United States, and certainly the WNBA and all these others. So I think I celebrate both of them. I thought it was amazing. There you go. All right.
I thought the thing that was the most classic was when they brought Goudreau's 2 kids out for the Gretzky shot on the ice. I thought that was so classy.
Wasn't it?
I got to tell you, that was a time that I teared up, and there was a couple of times, just to segue now to the speech that Donald Trump gave when he was giving those medals out. It's absolutely horrendous that the left has to sit there and condemn giving out acknowledgments to brave soldiers who saved so many people. I'm a grown man, and I will tell you, hearing the stories of what these soldiers did and then receiving an award from the President of the United States, I thought it was tremendous.
Well, you know, the Democrat Party, here's the thing, Michael. The Democrat Party, they have spent their entire political careers the last couple of decades demeaning the United States, saying masculinity is toxic, all of these things, feminizing the military and all of these things. So they can't dig themselves out of the hole that they've already created. So all they can do is lash out. It's a no-win situation for them. The more that they caterwaul, the more that they gnash their teeth and show their claws, the more awful they look. And so this is why I say, Michael, we need to overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. Let's move on. I want to play some audio from Doug Ford. Doug Ford the other day, who's honestly, I think he's back to smoking crack, to be quite honest. Doug Ford talked about how most Canadians are thrilled at the prospect of the Democrats winning both houses of Congress.
And there's going to be the midterms. I've never seen so many Canadians all cheering on the Democrats. And I think there's 33 Senate seats up for grabs. 20 of them are Republican. But we saw what happened in Congress. We saw what happened in the Supreme Court. The walls are closing in, I believe, on President Trump right now.
Wow, man! What I got to tell you, I've never been a big fan of Mr. Ford, but honestly, why do you?
On behalf of a friend north of the border, I'm sorry. What the heck is this guy talking about? We're in the midst of trying to do a trade deal with the largest customer that Canada has, the global supremacy both financially and militarily, and this provincial premier has the pompous state to say, "Oh, the Democrats." First of all, he's wrong. Second of all, he should stick to his knitting. And third of all, what are you trying to do to make a mess of stuff?
You don't want to, dude. The last thing you want to do, the last thing you want to do is piss off MAGA and piss off Donald Trump. What an idiot! What a big fat idiot! This is why he's already reached his zenith as a politician. He's not going anywhere else. And I don't know where he pulled that. Oh, the walls are closing. He has no friggin' clue what he's talking about. If anything, the walls are coming down. That State of the Union the other night, the walls are collapsing on the Democrat Party. If he doesn't see that, then he's going to be a world of hurt when we maintain our majorities in Congress and build on them, which I think is going to happen. Hey, can you hold on, Michael Charbon? I have other things I want to share.
Love to.
On the other side of the break, let's take a break and come back more with Michael Charbon of the Charbon Report on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
WCBM.
It is the Rob Carson Show. This is from a city council meeting the other night in Toronto.
Result of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. We pay tribute to those ancestors of African origin and descent.
Okay, I'd like to start my deputation in a good way by acknowledging...
They do the land acknowledgement and all that, and here a Toronto man who has been paying taxes all of his adult life in Toronto says, how about you pay a little tribute to us?
The people who fund this municipal enterprise, the Toronto taxpayer. Let's reflect and remember that every word spoken in this chamber, every light bulb, and every salary paid, including those of city councilors, is funded almost entirely by the hard work and earnings of taxpayers and property owners.
Oh, yeah.
Nearly all of the city's $18.9 billion budget comes directly from them.
That is true, yeah.
We acknowledge that while taxpayers and property owners have endured an almost 20% increase in the last 3 years, only a small and insulated group decides how much of their income is expropriated to sustain a burgeoning municipal bureaucracy.
I think this is just funny. Did you see this, Michael Charbon? Did you see that guy going viral for finally saying, hey, how about instead of acknowledging that the land that we've lived on our whole lives is somehow illegally gotten, and we focus on the people who are paying your butts to be in office?
Yeah, that's what's slowly happening. We're washing out all the woke BS. How many times now have you looked at more and more people don't have all that precursor him, her, she, it, us, and them stuff at the beginning of their names? But you know what the real problem is? That the average unsecured amount of debt that each Canadian has is surpassed $67,000. That means they spread it out. I mean, there was a study that was done. They spread it out over a whole bunch of credit cards. But the amount of debt that Canadians are carrying and the amount of insolvencies now, which are up like 2.3%, we are going to have a reckoning. And if we don't understand that the power and the boom, golden age economy that's going to happen in the United States can affect us positively, considering that you're 73% of our market, that we should be really cautious on what we're saying to upset the apple cart.
Yes.
Try and make a deal.
Yeah.
And work hard at, investing in new markets and trying to do stuff. But it's going to take a little while. And until that happens, Canadians are paying like $1,600 more a year for groceries.
Yeah, now listen to this.
That's affecting a lot of people.
I want you to listen. This is a video that has gone absolutely viral. A white liberal woman who fled to Canada to get out of Donald Trump's America for no good reason, by the way. And all these crazy women are upsetting their families, moving them overseas, ruining their kids' lives. Listen to this.
I'm a scholar of the far right who has fled the United States to Canada, and I need help. The situation in Canada is absolutely dire for Americans who don't know. The housing crisis here is worse than in the United States. I lived in LA for 6 years, and I have not faced rent as bad as here. When my partner, our cat, and our dog fled the United States, we headed north with the goal of being close to where our families are located, which is on the West Coast.
No kidding.
So we are now in British Columbia.
Yeah, I went to British Columbia. That's like one of the worst places you can live, period, as far as taxation, as far as the value of real estate and rents. Now she's regretting. She's asking, she's not like, I need to get back to the United States. She's asking for financial assistance there, Michael.
Yeah, well, she should go to Hastings Avenue in B.C. there in Vancouver and see the drug addiction in that, because what had happened was an NDP liberal government decided to have, it's okay to have free injections. It's okay to have drugs from the government. And guess what? It didn't reduce drugs. It made it worse. And guess what? It didn't reduce crime. It made it worse, Rob. Hello, ding, 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 ding.
Well, it's the same thing going on in New York City, by the way. They want more money. They've increased the budget of New York from $75 million in 2014 to $127 million, which is $10 million more than the entire state of Florida. Zoran Mondami still doesn't say that's enough. And did you hear what he said the other day? He wants $70 million just to study if government-run grocery stores will work. And I say, I don't know, go to Cuba.
Well, listen. We have a communist party here in Canada. It's called the New Democratic Party.
Yes.
It's the same kind of thing. It's that magic money tree that grows in the back that takes taxes from everybody who's making money and working to help those who don't have money, who aren't working, and are sucking the government dry and the people who are paying for taxes. That's why we were hoping, some of us in Canada, that the Conservatives and Poilievre will at least have enough rabbit food to throw into the hatch there to be able to get people to say, yeah, maybe it's a change time.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rob. I mean, we've talked about this before.
It's frustrating, brother.
I'm telling you, 69% of Canadians say they like what Carney's doing.
Dear God.
I mean, I know dope is legal up here, but I mean, is everybody using it to its
Well, you know, it's the same thing like here in Virginia. I moved to Virginia 6 months ago. The Abigail Scamberger lied about who she is. There's like 75 new taxes, even though they had a $2.3 billion surplus. She's going to destroy the state. She's gone back to green energy nonsense, DEI nonsense, transgender nonsense, all of this crap. And already Boeing has said, hey, you know, we're going to move back to St. Louis. It is remarkable, the left. They never give up. They keep continuing this. They're self-loathing individuals. And they are also, I might mention, they're like the aliens from Independence Day. They move into a state, they devour all the resources, and they destroy it, and then they move on. And honestly, we've got to do something about the scourge of these people. And I'm going to tell you, supporting Donald Trump losing both houses of Congress is not the way to do it, because we're marching forward in enormous success. And I think Canada and your leaders would be better suited to say, go America, go Trump, let's succeed together. Final thoughts.
Absolutely correct. 100% Rob Carson, and I think there are many in the conservative majority who are the silent majority, because I'm telling you, I am a black sheep. I'm alone up here because I believe in conservatism. I respect the Republican Party.
Yep.
There's, of course, lots of things that Donald Trump does, which is Donald Trump. But in the end, everything he is doing is the best for America and will serve the global democracy in a better way. Some may not like the application, but the guy is doing amazing things. And it's all going to come in the next 2 or 3 months, because it takes time to put it in effect.
100%.
But, I think you're 100% correct. Canadians got to sit there and recognize who your client is.
Yep, absolutely.
Work with your client.
All right, listen, brother, where can people find your glorious work on the interweb?
Rob, thanks a lot. MichaelCharbon.com. I'm on Spotify. I'm on YouTube and on LinkedIn.
All right.
And thank you, Rob, to you and all your great listeners.
All right,
Love
brother.
the show.
God bless you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I didn't gloat about him. Crap when their team loses, but I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't think it was very sportsmanlike, so I said, no, I'm not going to do that. There you go. Who's watching over here? My God, Dance F. Oh, you're quoting the Bible. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Absolutely 100%. Agreed. Thank you for the thoughts today. I appreciate you. The older I get, the more I realize the absolute truth of the Bible, and the fact that it was scribed so long ago shows its timeliness, to say the least. Rita in Tennessee, hello, proud of our hockey team. Tennessee's a nice place, by the way. America Marcy, hello, my pinky is sore. I don't want to know why. What's going on? You know. Anyway, let's go over to Facebookage. Let's see who's watching on Facebook. Sometimes Facebook's a little slow to load. My Rumbly Rose, Round a Pony, Tom K. How are you, Valentina? Jackie's. Layla drags her. Don't know that. Anyway, good to see you all there. I'm trying to catch up on your conversations. I've been a little busy. Carrie Corley, hi. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate ya. My Facebook is a little slow to load, but I know you guys are watching. I got to talk about something here. Let me find something. Oh, that's good. This is good. I got a soundbite that I think you're going to enjoy. This. Here we go. so you know, we're doing this bus ride tour on June 11th from my anchor station WCBM in Baltimore to Gettysburg on June the 11th. And we sold out the first motor coach, luxury motor coach, the whole deal. And guess what? In the last couple of days, we started selling tickets again on Monday. As of yesterday, we have 12 left. That's it. 12 left to go on this battlefield tour. If you're on the East Coast near Balmer, if you're up in Rehoboth, you might come down. You're in Maryland, Pennsylvania, wherever. I don't even care. You can drive down from New Hampshire. Fly in from California. I don't even care. It's one day. And we're just going to leave at 8 in the morning from WCBM in Balmer and drive to Gettysburg and do the battlefield tour. They've got this really cool cyclorama, which is a large, I don't even know how to say it. It's a display of the battles, and it's freaking ridiculous in the visitor center. Then you go out and you hit the battlefields. Then you go out and you see where Abe Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg. It's lovely there, a little meadow, there's trees and, a house there, and it's really cool. We're going to have the experts there to share the real truth about it. Lunch at the historic Dobbin House. Only 12 seats. Only 12 seats. So get on it right now. $130. So, it's worth every penny of it. That's not what a bus ride costs anyway to Gettysburg and back. So there you go. WCBM.com, WCBM.com. I showed up on my timeline today, Rush Limbaugh, talent on loan from God. And he had this to say about why the left hates Donald Trump. And not just the left. Maybe this is why the SAVE Act is not getting done by John Thune. Maybe this is why Mitch McConnell does everything he can to C-block Donald Trump. This is why Nikki Haley is no longer on the scene. This is why so many people, so many rhino Republicans, this is why Mike Pence is no longer relevant.
It goes back, I think, to election night. They didn't expect Trump to win, and they weren't prepared for Trump to win, and they're still unhappy that Trump won.
Yeah.
And I think the real answer to your question is Washington establishment, both parties. It's a small club. It's elite. You can't get in it because you want to get in it. Yep. They don't have a clubhouse. But Trump would never be admitted in this club, no matter what he did.
The deplorable.
These guys have been running the country. It's donors, it's think tanks, it's the whole Washington media, the whole establishment. Trump's an outsider. They have been managing the country, ruling the country for however many decades. They can't afford for an outsider neophyte to come in and redo everything, fix things in 3 months, fix things in a year, show that it can be done, show that an outsider can do it, show that what they say can't be done can be done. I think they're petrified, and they're all united, Republicans and Democrats, it's not just the Senate, in making sure that Trump, the outsider, doesn't succeed with his agenda.
We are the ones who have to make this happen. We have to get these people in Washington, D.C. to make sure that we maintain both houses of Congress, and Donald Trump can do what he can to save America in its 250th year. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. And according to Newsmax.com news site, Hillary Clinton, who is behind door deposing, making a deposition. I think Bill Clinton did that a few times. But they were hotel doors and he was depositing something different. Anyway, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton told U.S. House lawmakers in New York on Thursday she had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. I had no idea about the criminal activities. I don't recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. He started the Clinton Global Initiative. Ghislaine Maxwell was at Chelsea's wedding. My God, woman, would you expect anything different? Would you expect anything different from a woman who spent her entire life, her entire career, lying and cheating and stealing, going back to cattle future trading? I remember this because I was writing for Rush Limbaugh at the time. All of this stuff. The closed-door depositions of Clinton hometown of Chappaqua, typically a quiet hamlet north of New York City, came after months of tense back and forth between the two. But honestly, wow. I had no idea about his crimes. He created the Clinton Global Initiative hand in hand with the Clintons, and Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly, and I've heard through good sources, attended Chelsea's wedding. I'm thinking she might be lying, because that's what she does. Here's Jim Gossett.
Now for us, Hillary's worry.
Unreal.
We had to agree to testify.
I don't know who this guy who created by charity.
Comer had us over a barrel.
My husband flew on his plane 27 times.
Let's say that he's
but other than that, I mean,
a tenacious guy.
My husband's picture was in his foyer.
If I tell the truth,
a painting in a blue dress.
About Epstein.
No idea about this guy. What the hell, what?
About each and every
Jeff who?
Single teen. I'll go to jail.
Oh, wishful thinking.
Hillary too. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What now for us? Now we have no choice but go to D.C. and testify.
Now they're doing it in Chappaqua.
We have to lie.
And I bet they're doing it, of course. Just because that's what the Clintons do. Sure, I never met him. I have no idea. I had no idea about his criminality. I guess I never read the paper. I swear to God. Clintons are just the filthiest, most rotten, awful people ever. They really are. They're masterful liars. So, I don't know if you knew this, but, with all the fraud and everything, the billions and billions of dollars in fraud in Minnesota and across the country, by the way, across the country, states like Maine, Massachusetts, everywhere. New York, my God, it's trillions of dollars being taken. And J.D. Vance is now officially taken over the fraud czar position, or the head of hopefully the butt kicking that's coming and the arrests and whatnot. And here he is saying that we're cutting hundreds of millions of dollars in Medicare funds to Minnesota because of all the fraud until they get their bleep together.
We're announcing today that we have decided to temporarily halt certain amounts of Medicaid funding that are going to the state of Minnesota in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money.
Yeah, they were taking millions of dollars every day in cash, leaving Minnesota, the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport, to go to Somalia. That's where they were going. The armpit of the world. And 89% of Somalians in Minnesota are on welfare of some kind. And almost exclusively, Somalians were opening daycare centers that didn't serve any kids, but they took millions and millions and hundreds of millions and billions from us and that's just the start.
Now, what is this going to mean? What this means is that, first of all, the providers on the ground in Minnesota have actually already been paid. The state has paid those providers the money. What we're doing is we are stopping the federal payments that will go to the state government until the state government takes its obligations seriously.
Every damn dime. I'd cut every damn dime, to be quite honest. Here is Dr. Oz talking about the state of Minnesota. And wait till you hear what was going on with all of the autism fraud in a second. You might want to sit down.
We did what any honest and patient-focused agency would do. We have notified the state and that we will give them the money, but we're going to hold it and only release it after they propose and act on a comprehensive corrective action plan to solve the problem. If Minnesota fails to clean up the systems, the state will rack up $1 billion of deferred payments this year. Governor Walz has 60 days, sir, to respond to our letter. And if providers and beneficiaries are worried about getting their money in service...
I want people to go to jail. I want people in government to go to jail. I want Keith Ellison to be investigated and indicted. I want Tim Volz to be indicted. They oversaw this, dear God in heaven. I want people to go to bloody jail for this. And I'm talking about people in government. People in government never go to jail. They need to go to jail for this. And it's going to happen all over the country. Now, wait till you hear this. And I said to you that if you are a Somali mom or dad and you lied about your kid having autism to get autism money, you need to be deported. You better find somebody to take care of your kid here, or you're going back to Somalia with them. But honestly, this is ridiculous. Listen to Dr. Oz.
Let me share some of these horrible stories. The vice president started highlighting autism. Let's get into the details of what's really going on in Minnesota. These are real cases from our group at CMS. These are adjudicated numbers. There's a fraud scheme in Minnesota where criminals, soon to be criminals, pay moms $1,000 roughly in order to enroll their children as being autistic, falsely, dishonestly claiming their children are autistic. They then bill Medicaid, this has already happened, millions of dollars for services that were never rendered, never delivered by a qualified staff member.
Oh, it gets much worse.
These schemes disproportionately involve immigrant communities. They're insulated. They're able to organize efforts, and sometimes they don't understand what's going on.
No, you just said that they did it intentionally, Dr. Oz. Don't contradict yourself.
And it ultimately diverts resources away from kids who truly have autism. Because if every kid in the neighborhood has autism, then nobody has autism in terms of how you can manage them. There was one behavioral, and by the way, these kids, they carry that diagnosis of autism the rest of their lives. Their mom made a bad decision, the kid pays the price for the rest of their life. There's one behavioral health organization, Mr. Vice President, in Minnesota. They received $11.5 million in Medicaid payments, but the top biller submitted 450 days where they claimed they were working more than 24 hours a day. I mean, even in the White House.
It's like Fonnie Willis in the case against Donald Trump and her boyfriend billing for, 20-hour days.
Tough. It's hard to work more than 24 hours a day. How it didn't get picked up is shocking to
unless you can slow down time.
Us at CMS. There are other red flags in Minnesota, including hundreds of beneficiaries receiving treatment linked to one location, which was impossible physically to be true. We had 8 beneficiaries in one of these substance use disorder centers, 8 who were already dead. But the center was still billing us.
Wow.
Not only did they let the person pass, they kept billing for it. That's the level of...
This is a colossal failure of government and its oversight. They're the ones who are as guilty as the recipients. The people who missed this. Hundreds of people came forward to Tim Volz and were whistleblowers that said something's got to be done about this. And they were shown the door. They were either threatened with losing their jobs or they were shown the door and silenced. People need to go to jail. Here's CNN oblivious to everything. Even though millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars went out in suitcases to Somalia, which is run largely by Al-Shabaab. And they're claiming that Al-Shabaab didn't get any of the money.
If you're going to withhold the funds, shouldn't you have a clear and detailed plan that states can meet in order to turn those funds back on? Because it's not just monopoly money. This is money that is going to actual human beings.
No, you figure out, you manage it, you expose why it was mismanaged, you show the people who mismanaged it, and we'll turn the faucet back on. Otherwise, it's off.
Yeah, and I think that's why Republicans are so outraged. There's reporting from the City Journal that money that was supposed to go to help the elderly and the disabled was actually funneled to the Al-Shabaab terror group in Somalia. So I think we should all be furious.
They would rather give Al-Shabaab the benefit of the doubt than Donald Trump talking about inviting the women's hockey team to the White House.
There's reporting about that. So that's what we're going to find. So let's look into it.
There were allegations.
Let's lift up the couch cushions.
That actually happened.
Okay, so the reporting is totally wrong. I think we should all
prosecuting fraud. No one disagrees with. Right. Okay, but
man, whatever happened to your journalistic curiosity? Well, nothing, because you're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. Abby Normal on CNN. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I am woman, not a man, despite this new transgender ban. Though my voice is deep and I've got facial hair, they ban me, but I'll be back. Bravery I do not lack. You don't have to tell me to grow a pair. Oh yes, I'm a girl. Against women I compete. People wanna hurl when I win another meet. Swimming medals, I will steal all of them. I have a beard. I've got testicles. I am woman. Venus says that I can't swim. They claim that I am a him. But I'll be back. Just you wait and see. Oh yes, I'm a she. I even wear a dress, though it's no mystery. The whole package I possess. But they banned me from everything. I have a brawn. I have a prostate gland. I am woman. Step down. Tim Walsh should step down for allowing so much fraud. If Tim Walsh would resign, Minnesota would applaud. More than $1 billion lost to fraud, a tremendous cost. Step down. Tim Walsh should step down. He cannot carry on. Step down. Do it today. Tim Walsh, you
What happened with this fraud framework is they brought the Somalis in because they had a guaranteed voting block for all eternity, and they all vote Democrat. And they'll say they have 9 people living in an apartment, and guess what? The state sends them 9 ballots.
Yeah.
Or they have 10, and there's no verification. This is like the Wild West, and it's destroying Minnesota. It's destroying the country, and we're at a crossroads right now.
Yeah, this is why they don't want the voter identification. That's David Hoke. He worked with Nick Shirley and exposed all this nonsense. By the way, there were 500 autism centers, and only 6 reapplied after it was discovered that they might be that they need a license. Apparently, you didn't need a license up there to get an autism center. So all of a sudden, it went from zero, a couple $1 million a year for autism centers to $400 million. And so they have decided to ask for a license. And only 6 have reapplied. So it was all fraud, all down the toilet. And this is why your Democrat Party does not want legal voter ID. This is why they don't want the SAVE Act. This is why they're so, bananas against making sure you are who you are to enjoy the privilege of citizenship. You are not guaranteed a right to vote. The only people who are guaranteed a right to vote are citizens of the United States, and you need to prove that.
Why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
Duh.
They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have
100%. There's no doubt about it. Here's Kamala Harris. I apologize to do this to you, but I'm going to play some Kamala Harris. You may lose an IQ point or two. You've got some to spare. If you're a Democrat, you might want to change it, because otherwise your breathing could stop, because you need some intelligence to at least maintain your breathing and digestion.
What else have they done? The SAVE Act. You know what the SAVE Act would do?
Oh, boy.
Require that people show a birth certificate or a passport to register to vote.
Yeah, that's proof of who you are. That's proof of your citizenship. And you can easily get a birth certificate. It's quite simple. You just go on your state website and request it.
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it's something like 40% of Americans don't have those.
What? They don't have what?
Those documents.
Oh, and then you get your ass out and you get them.
Married women, if you changed your name when you got married.
Here we go.
It's going to be different than what's on your birth certificate.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
And what that's going to do in terms of...
It's easy to prove. Just show them your marriage certificate.
Complicating.
Just show them your marriage certificate.
The ability of women to register to vote.
Oh, my God.
And so this is happening in real time.
Yeah, oh, boy. What is it? This is happening in real time. What a nonsensical expression to use. It's like at the end of the day. I hate that expression. This is going on in real time. Well, isn't everything going on in real time? Right? Look, I'm talking. It's in real time. I'm breathing. I'm listening to a music. Oh, my God, I'm listening to real time. Most of her words are like what's in her head. A lot of empty space. A lot of nothing. This is New Mexico Democrat. By the way, I'm on KBQ in Albuquerque. Thank you very much. Teresa Ledger Fernandez. Listen to her bananas excuse about voter ID.
Betrayal, I think, is key, because that's why we are also seeing that Trump and the Republicans don't want us to vote.
Well, okay.
They don't want women to vote.
Oh, well, we don't want half of our voters to vote.
They don't want working families to vote.
Then there's another 3/4 of our voters there, right there. We don't want you to vote.
Their agenda and their policies are so bad.
No, they're kicking butt, actually.
That they know that without the SAVE Act, which the only thing it's going to save is their electoral butts in November, they are going to lose.
Wow, we're saving our electoral butts, and you've got your head jammed up yours. It's got to be dark in there. I swear to God, it's got to be dark in there. Wacomico County Sheriff Michael Lewis, it's Maryland, by the way. The governor, the Fresh Prince of Maryland, DEI Newsom. Wes Moore. I sometimes make myself laugh. I'm so funny, I make myself laugh. Sometimes you can't tickle yourself. You ever try that? I can do it right over my kidneys. I'll just go, whoa, there, I did it right now. I can tickle myself. And sometimes I kind of make myself laugh. Can't smell your own body odor generally, but I can make myself laugh. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of sheriffs in the state of Maryland who telling Westmore to stick it when it comes to not enforcing illegal immigration, not booting out illegal aliens and all that. I said illegal aliens, I can say that. And then, of course, not working with ICE. They're saying, you know what, Westmore, you can stick it.
This is nothing more than politics over public safety. And we as elected sheriffs are fed up with it. You don't see this many sheriffs in one location in the state at any given time. But we have to come together in unison to stop the ridiculousness that's going on up here in Annapolis, Maryland. And lawmakers need to wake up and realize Marylanders and the American people want public safety over politics.
Imagine that. Imagine this. And actually, Democrats did at one time, too, before they realized that their policies were causing Democrats to flee the party, leave the party, leave states that are run by Democrats, leave cities that are run by Democrats. So they had to start replacing votes and replacing bodies with illegals.
Those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
I think we can enforce our borders. I think we should enforce our borders.
Yeah, honestly, the Democrat Party, as I've said, is intellectually and morally bankrupt. Done, kaput, over. There's no digging out of this hole. They really can't save themselves at this point. They can't. They can't steal elections anymore. They're trying their level best, but they can't win on issues. Everything that they sat for the other night during the State of the Union, the American people are against. They support Donald Trump's policies. There's no helping them at this point. The Democrat Party is fundamentally broken. There's no way it can be fixed. There are some people who are beginning to kind of get it a little bit. For instance, here, this is CBS the other night during the State of the Union address, realizing that what Donald Trump was saying is actually what people want to hear.
We have Major here at the table. I want to bring the conversation back here to our group watching along. Major, you've seen a lot of these, I think, more than any of us. What stood out to you?
Well, look, before the speech, many Republicans said one of the priorities for the president was to make sure Americans after this speech had a sense that the opposition party was off the rails, was crazy. Yes. Their terminology, not mine. Many of the contrasts the president articulated tonight were to drive that message forward. That not only do I disagree with the opposition party sitting before me in Congress, but I disagree with them so strongly and they with me so much that they can't even applaud basic common sense thing. And that line that you mentioned, that he added to the speech, whether it was ad-libbed or not, the first obligation, American citizens versus illegal aliens, was meant to create a visual moment of perpetual contrast.
Yeah, the Democrats are scrod. They are scrod. CBS said that Donald Trump had an extraordinary speech.
It was an extraordinary speech, the longest to a joint session in history, the longest State of the Union in history. In some ways, vintage Trump, combative, populist. Historic for other reasons as well. The first part of the speech, all about the economy, an issue we know a lot of Americans want to hear about. He touts it, but he does so against a wall of negative opinion.
There you go. Absolutely. I told you, overwhelm them with joy and patriotism. 2024 was about turning away from nonsense into common sense. The sand upon their house of cards is eroding, and it's collapsing upon itself. I told you, this is why I do this job, people. This is why I do this job. Sarah Bedford joins us from the Washington Examiner next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Arrests ICE has made so far. How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals.
She's no KJP, more like Kaylee and Sarah. Her first press briefing was strong. She deals in facts, not liberal propaganda. We have been lied to for so long. And raise your hand, be polite, or she won't call on you. Meet Caroline, kicking butt and taking names. She's not inclined to let reporters play their games. Sweet Caroline.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about
Democrats, are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. Would you guys shut up and let him work?
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. These people are crazy.
Wow. That is a brand new ad from the Republican Party, created from the. There are many that will be able to be used for the rest of this year from that State of the Union address. I mean, it was just a gold mine. It was a gold mine. Joining us to talk about this and other things, Sarah Bedford, investigative editor for the Washington Examiner. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
That was quite a speech the other night. There were a lot of things going on there that I didn't anticipate happening and him saying, and I don't think the Democrats, I think they were caught sitting down on that one, weren't they?
They were. You know, you would think in the year of our Lord 2026, they've had more than a decade of Donald Trump leading them into traps that make them look terrible, and yet they couldn't spot this one, even though it was sort of obvious from a mile away. That you ought to agree with the basic principle that the U.S. government should prioritize U.S. citizens. And yet, Trump created a really striking visual image of the fact that Democrats don't see a distinction between illegal immigrants and U.S. citizens. And it was such a just perfect encapsulation of the contrast that you have between the two parties. And for him to make a visual out of that contrast was really brilliant for whoever in the White House came up with that one.
Well, I saw did you see when he was doing the looks and he was like put his hand out, he's like rolling his eyes. I mean, it was perfect for television. He was like, well, can you believe this? Can you believe this is happening? And then he whips out the "you should be ashamed" and you're crazy. I mean, boom. Boom, boom. And you know what the reaction from Chuck Schumer and Pramila Jayapal and others is? Literally. This is what they say. That you should be ashamed. They say to him, well, Trump should be ashamed. Their reaction is, I know you are, but what am I?
Right. I mean, they sort of played right into his hands. He said, these people are crazy. And then several of them started screaming at him like, frankly, crazy people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not behavior that normal Americans expect to see when they tune into something as somber as the State of the Union. It's not behavior that we've really seen before. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when, I think it was Joe Wilson, the congressman, who yelled one tiny thing during an Obama State of the Union, and it became an infamous moment, and he was denounced by both sides as shattering decorum. And now you have people just sitting in the stands heckling Trump as if he's like a comedian at a nightclub. And it just underscored everything Trump, all the criticisms that he had of Democrats. They made sure to demonstrate he was right by some of their behavior in the chamber. And I can't imagine the Democratic congressional leadership was happy with that.
Well, and then you've also got people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who even though, and listen, this is how far separated from reality the Democrat Party is, that you can't celebrate a 100-year-old veteran whose plane was shot 260 times, who was injured, took down 4 MiGs, fought in 3 wars, or a helicopter pilot who had his legs shattered and maintained consciousness long enough to fly his troops to safety after destroying the people who were trying to kill. And the next day they're saying it was an award ceremony, or you had another, I don't know what this podcast was, these 5 women saying, you get an award and you get an award, like Oprah giving away a car. I mean, how tone deaf. I mean, even if you, they don't believe in America, they don't love America, they don't love the military, but at the same time, in the face of all that, you don't shoot yourself in the foot by going after something sacred.
Right. I mean, Trump is really, really good at forcing Democrats to defend the most unpopular parts of their agenda. He reflexively puts Democrats on the opposite side of everything he does. And so to use this big platform to force Democrats to take the opposite side of something like celebrating a World War II veteran, it's pretty brilliant tactics.
Yeah. Or a hockey team.
I was watching the State of the Union with... Excuse me?
I said, or a hockey team. Go ahead.
Or a hockey team, yes.
Yes.
I was watching the speech with my 9-year-old, and he said, Mom, everything he's saying is awesome. Why isn't half the room not clapping for that?
Oh, my God.
It's kind of true. Everything he's saying was awesome. If he actually just stuck only to the agenda that he laid out in the State of the Union, he could probably win 10 elections in a row. And so to strategically choose to just highlight the most unobjectionable things in America that make America great and force Democrats to stand opposed to that. Really showed the contrast between the two.
Sarah, you said your 9-year-old was loving the speech, and outside, meantime, and I do mean this, your 9-year-old is able to recognize the goodness in that speech, but outside, this is what Democrats were doing.
Joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
I'm the co-founder of the Portland Frog Brigade.
Hey, Mr. Tangerine Man.
Writer of sexy books, Stacey Abrams.
Trump was on the Jeffrey Epstein plane.
It really should be called the state of the unethical.
He is a fascist.
Tragically, we're now in a country of, by, and for a handful of dishonest...
Honestly, your son is 9. They were playing to 4-year-olds.
I mean, it's so unserious.
I know.
It's kind of shocking. And they've now had, close to a year and a half since Trump won the election to sort of regroup and look at where they went wrong. And they sort of seem to have taken all the wrong lessons from their loss to Donald Trump. They're not presenting any sort of serious, coherent, adult agenda to people. And, they will probably still do well in the midterms because it's just sort of they're trying Trump in absentia in a way. It's just a referendum on Trump's agenda, and life is still hard for a lot of people. The midterms tend to go to the party in the wilderness. So I still think that Donald Trump will see his party suffer in the midterms. But
I disagree.
Ever regaining
We've talked about this before. I think your affordability argument, Sarah. We've talked about this before. Your affordability argument is disappearing into the dust, and we've still got 8 months to go. So I'm going to disagree with you. I think there are a lot of hurdles. I get that. But as far as affordability is concerned, I think that is being left in the dust, particularly as we progress through the year. I do, on the other side of the break, though, want to talk to you about apparently the FBI surveilled Susie Wiles and Kash Patel while they're civilians. I know you're covering that story. Can you stick around through the break?
Sure, thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Sarah Bedford from the Washington Examiner. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCVM.
Michigan is open for business. New factories making batteries, cars, chips are opening in Marshall, Lake Orion, Holland, Bay City, Calumet, Hemlock, Ann Arbor, and Delta Township. A new fighter mission is coming to Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Macomb County. Probably not on the bingo card, but I want to thank President Trump for his work on this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, crediting Donald Trump with bringing back manufacturing, essentially, to Michigan. And his policies are, by the way, and this is why I say the Democrats' house of cards built on sand is beginning to crumble away. That's what I think, anyway, when she's giving credit to the Prezi. Did you see her? By the way, Sarah Bedford of the Washington Examiner, did you see her the end of her speech?
Oh, big Gretch out.
Oh, dear God in heaven. I know. Big Gretch out. I'm like, oh, no. Come on. How uncool can you be? Listen, I'm a little older than her. I'm even not that uncool, Sarah. But I do believe it.
Yeah,
I know.
No, it's tough, but
Go ahead.
It's smart politics for her. I mean, she's charting a different path than the frog uniform wearing liberals who obviously have nothing to offer her voters. Michigan is a state Trump won. I mean, if any Democrat is going to win the White House 2 years from now, they're going to need Trump voters. And so any liberal who's out there right now alienating those type of people is probably not going to end up the president.
Yeah.
But it's clear she has ambitions. It's clear Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has ambitions. Because you don't see them out there bashing Trump every day because they know they'll need Trump voters if they ever want to get a promotion to the White House.
You would think. Now, another story we're talking about here is at least 10 FBI staffers who worked on the Mar-a-Lago documents case are fired. Firings came after Reuters reported that the FBI had subpoenaed records of phone calls made by FBI Director Kash Patel and Susie Wiles while they were both private citizens. Two people you really shouldn't have messed with considering where they are now. What do you know about this?
This is a pretty shocking story. I mean, we know that Special Counsel Jack Smith was really aggressive in trying to go after Trump. That was his only mandate in coming back to the Justice Department. And Kash Patel, it is shocking that they were spying on him. He was Trump's designated representative to the National Archives when they were all private citizens, and the National Archives was negotiating with the Trump team to get their records back. So even though it's a pretty aggressive move to surveil Kash Patel in that role, there's at least some sort of plausible nexus to what Smith was doing. But Susie Wiles is a totally different story. She was not part of the first Trump administration. She had zero role in packing up the documents to Mar-a-Lago or where they were stored afterwards. She had zero role in any of the legal challenges that Trump made to the results of the 2020 election. She was just a political advisor to Trump that came on board after all of that stuff had already happened. And at the time that she was being spied on, she was Trump's campaign manager. And it's really hard to think, even in your wildest imagination, what a justification would be for the FBI to spy on someone whose only connection to Trump was being a political advisor. And it really raises the question of just how far did the Biden FBI go to spy on Trump and to try to prevent him from becoming president.
Well, it's about show me the man, I'll show you the crime. You know the old Soviet adage. That's what they were doing. They were on a fishing expedition. They were looking for anything at all. That's what they do. You find a little something, then you go after somebody, you threaten them, you destroy them. That's what they tried. And it's kind of remarkable that so many people who were surveilled, nothing showed up. So it showed that a lot of people had very clean records. They didn't have any issues whatsoever. And Donald Trump was, associating himself with people who are not participating in criminal activity. And so I think that's what this is all about. I guess 10 FBI employees who worked for Jack Smith's investigation have been let go. Sounds like more to come. I follow John Solomon, and it sounds like this grand conspiracy is coming to a head, starting in the state of Florida. And I'm hoping that some of the people who attempted to take Donald Trump down, this is just one of the many examples, are held to account and people end up going to jail. But I'm not holding my breath, Sarah.
Well, it's remarkably what we're learning now about the Jack Smith stuff is remarkably similar to the playbook we saw in 2016.
Yes.
Which was that the FBI basically colluded with Democrats to come up with some sort of basis to spy on Trump and his campaign. And
yes.
You mentioned, all the people Trump surrounded himself with having clean records. That wasn't the case in 2016. He was a complete political unknown.
Yes.
He had some people around him that the FBI did manage to take down, like Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, his first campaign manager and deputy campaign manager.
Yep.
But in terms of show me the man and I'll show you the crime, that's exactly what the FBI did to Trump the first time around.
Of course.
And so it's really hard to see any world where the FBI could have credibly had basis to do that twice, and it's simply a coincidence that 2 times you had the intelligence apparatus of the United States marshaled against the Republican frontrunner. And it's almost so wild that people are desensitized to how big a deal that is.
I know.
The more you learn about what the Biden FBI was doing,
yes,
the more shocking it is. And you mentioned the grand conspiracy case that's supposedly being shown to a grand jury in South Florida. People talk about Trump weaponizing the Justice Department against his political enemies. Well, 1, that's already been done, and it was the Democrats who crossed that Rubicon.
Amen.
But 2, if you're against the weaponization of the Justice Department, I think you could make a real argument that Trump has no choice but to go
yes.
after the people who did
that. It's not weaponizing,
first.
It's holding people accountable. That's why this is why they said retribution.
Situation.
It was never retribution. It was all about accountability, and that's one of the reasons why we voted for Donald Trump. For all of this bull crap. And I'm hoping some fruit comes from this. James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, Susan Rice, all doing the Russia collusion hoax, by the way. It sounds like it's coming down. I hope it is. Sarah, we got to run. I greatly appreciate having you on. I love your work. I love talking to you on the air, by the way. Washington Examiner, Sarah C. Bedford on Twitter. Where else can people find your glorious work?
At WashingtonExaminer.com. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. Have a glorious weekend. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. She's smart. I like her. She's smart. She's smart. All right, kids, let's talk here. I'm going to save this for the next hour here. How you guys doing, Dookie Bear? In Sportech, as Rob would say, just a fart in a windstorm. No, in a Cat 5 hurricane is what I use, actually. That's what I say. Anyway, who's watching on Facebook? I still don't have... Oh, there's Facebook. Yes, Facebook. There's my Facebook friends right there. Let's see. Carol Leftwich. Christy Cromwell, what up? Chris Schwab. Are you enjoying the show? I'm enjoying the show. It's workout day for me. I got to go work out. Got to hit it hard. I was doing this GLP thingy, right? I was doing this GLP to lose some weight because I thought I was just having trouble getting going on the diet, and I stopped it. And I just really am just doing lean and green at night. Just lean and just basically no carbs, very little carbs. And I got no problem with carbs, but no carbs. Obviously, I don't drink, so that helps. But the pounds have been coming off. It's been coming off. And the largest thing is don't eat past 6 o'clock at night. Don't eat past 6 o'clock at night. And if you do, eat some salmon and some green beans, or eat something like that. And my little snack is popcorn. All right. We got somebody new. Hoblon, new on the YouTube. It's good to welcome to the show. Glad to see you here, Hoblon, wherever you are. Kevin KI5DY, good to see you. It's funny because I like watching Rob more than listening to him, and the opposite with Fela. I can listen to him, but he's utterly unwatchable. I don't like Fela. Nothing against Fela. He's not my brand. I don't like him. He's too wacky. He's too waka waka. He's too waka waka for me. So that's the only thing. Nothing against. He's great. I love it. He was a cabbie. They found him. It's awesome. There you go. It is a Rob Carson show. The Democrat Party is broken. They have to lie to get elected, like Abigail Schamberger in Virginia. High-tax Democrat state loses another 200,000 to other states in just 5 years. Massachusetts has lost 200,000 residents to other states in 5 years. Steady exodus that analysts say reflects rising taxes, soaring housing costs, and a cooling job market. New report estimates 182,000 people left the Bay State between 2020 and 2025 because Democrats make things suck. That's just the way it is. Massachusetts imposes a 5% flat tax income above $1 million, subject to a 9% rate. The state also levies 6.25% sales tax. In Boston, long considered one of the nation's most desirable places to live, property taxes have become a focal point. It is. This is it. This is New York. This is Chicago. This is Seattle. This is now Virginia. And I moved here 6 months ago. If a Republican governor wins in Maryland and they're able to do something, I might consider moving back to Maryland. Because if Abigail Schamberger continues this nonsense, I don't own any property here, and I will gladly leave. And I hate to do that. Anyway, I just got an apartment, man. It's a little easier now that I'm not married and everything. Whatever. Price of gold. What's the price of gold at? Price of gold is at $5,180 today. $5,180, so almost $5,200. Did you realize that if you had $20,000 and you bought gold in 2006, those ounces of gold, those 33 ounces of gold, will be worth about $65,000. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. That's gigantic. From $20,000 to $165,000 in 20 years. That's just remarkable. And that's what you need to consider when you're buying gold from my friends at Birch Gold. For thousands of years, gold has been a store of wealth. Gold is amazing. Gold always makes you go, oh my gosh. Remember the Goonies when they found the ship? Oh my God, yeah. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k. Remember Gold Member? Austin Powers, remember that? Yeah, when he looked down, gold. Anyway, just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. No obligación, only información. A-plus rating for the BBB. Tens of thousands of satisfied customers, again, including me. I've got some money in them. Thank you very much. I got a, nice little, it's not a nest egg. If you're going to do it, it'd be like a robin's egg. It's not like a goose egg. It's not like an ostrich egg. But it's a little egg, and I'm hoping it'll grow. This is why you sit on it, you see. When you get gold, it's like you sit on it and you hatch it in a few years. And I'm not going to hatch it for a few years. So there you go. And I've got Birch to tend the nest. How's that for an analogy? Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy. A-plus rating from the BBB, tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. That, my friends, is what they call peace of mind. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. On the other side of the top of the hour, Mark Wayne Mullen shreds Bernie Sanders. Not hard to do. Tulsi Gabbard is exposed a major seditious conspiracy involving James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, Susan Rice, Barack Obama about Russia collusion. Some more reaction to the speech Donald Trump gave the other night, and because he can't be here tomorrow, Christian Toto from Hollywood and Toto is going to join us a little bit later on. There's a lot of stuff going on. Gen Z men are saying no to superheroes. We'll tell you what that's all about. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. All in the final hour of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. does.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 12 of the show. That's 3 in Francais. I double majored in foreign language. I had a broadcasting degree, and I already kind of knew how to speak French because I had 4 years of high school French. And so I just tested out of about half of it and got a double major. Haven't used it, haven't been to France. Been to Mexico, should have taken Spanish. I've been to Mexico a dozen times for crying out loud. Whatever. And there aren't a lot of French contractors working at my house, and coming in. You don't see many French drywallers, Hey, Pierre Francois. Yeah, check this out, man. I need a new roof. Yeah. Been a bunch of French guys hanging out. Could you imagine at Home Depot in the morning? A bunch of French guys hanging out there drinking their cappuccino and having their croissant. And you're saying, hey, man, can you work? Oh, of course. And you get in the back of the truck, and you drive them over. Yeah, see, you don't need the French as much. So there's that. I've had a lot more interactions with Hispanics. Where the hell did that come from? I don't know. It's just my stream of consciousness. It kind of happens. Tulsi Gabbard, I've been sitting on this audio for a few days. I've been dying to share it with you about this grand conspiracy of the Obama administration went all the way up to Obama. They tried to take down Donald Trump when he won the election in 2016. They tried to take him down. They surveilled his campaign. They surveilled his transition team. They surveilled his presidency. The first impeachment was bull crap, and it was part of that surveillance. All of this. It's an evil cabal of people. And guess what? We kicked their butts. Yeah. And so this is why you need to just realize what this man has done for us for 10 friggin' years. You can work your butts off for another 8 months to make sure he keeps both houses of Congress. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty good. Let's get to that in 1 second. Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect social bennies, which is pretty nice now because you're not paying tax. A new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. You've been working your butt off your entire life. Recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. What? Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your bennies. I'm not going to get mine for 10 years. So I want to hear about this. Whether you're getting your benefits or will soon, you need this Social Security report. Here's the number. Write this down. I'm absolutely serious on this. Because honestly, Social Security has been kind of a pittance for a very long time, and for many people is a lifeline. Now that you're not paying income tax on it, my God, how good is that, right? Maybe there's more. Here it is. Ready? Write this down. 800-999-9690, okay? 800-999-9690. That's the number. We'll text you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Okay, so call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Just do that if you would. Okay, all right, cool. So President Trump just posted a bombshell moment. Tulsi, Director of National Intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard exposed the Hussein Obama seditious conspiracy. She's dropping names. Here are just a few of them.
Referencing that I released, declassified and released, spells out in great detail exactly what happens when you have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior-most national security cabinet, James Comey.
They knew there was no Russia collusion. They knew it decisively. They knew it. And they pushed ahead with it anyway, and they lied. This gets so bloody big.
John Brennan, James Clapper, and Susan Rice and others essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence with the objective of subverting the will of the American people.
You remember way back when, if you've been listening to me for a very long time, I said when this was happening, that the Russians had no compelling interest to have Donald Trump work with them because he was a hawk on defense, a hawk on energy, a hawk on our budget, America first, but Hillary Clinton had already been bought and paid for.
Who in November of 2016 delivered a historic victory to President Trump.
I said this 6 years ago.
Defeating Hillary Clinton. And President Obama and his team, their goal was to essentially not accept the decision of the American people and to use this manufactured, politicized intelligence as a means to enact what would become essentially a years-long coup against President Trump.
Yeah. Think of all the things they did. All of the things they did. Impeachment. This. COVID. The release of COVID. We paid for it. Shutting down the economy. Shutting down the economy. All of it. The summer of 2020. PSYOP. Burned down the country. Right before the election. All of the things they had to do. And then, of course, mail-in ballots. All of the nonsense associated with the 2020 election, which of course was fraudulent. This is just the beginning.
You have gone into great detail over these years of what the effects of this document and this decision have resulted in. Obviously, a years-long Mueller investigation that cost taxpayers almost $40 million, 2 congressional impeachments, endless smears and attacks against not only President Trump, but his family. He had
weaponizing social media against Donald Trump and conservatives, removing him from social media. The chief counsel of the FBI left the FBI in 2018 to go to Twitter.
Senior members of his team who were investigated, some arrested and jailed. We had heightened and increased tensions between the United States and Russia. The list goes on and on about the consequences of President Obama and his senior cabinet members politicizing intelligence once again, and I say these words very clearly, to enact what was essentially a years-long coup, subverting the will of the American people.
Yeah, there are punishments meted out for these things, and Barack Obama knew exactly what this was about. Barack Obama knew that Russia collusion was a lie because he created the lie
in that election in November. Now, you referenced this president's daily brief document that was drafted for President Obama in early December that reaffirmed what the intelligence community professionals, as you say, had been assessing for the previous 6 months leading up.
Which was there was no Russia collusion between Donald Trump
to the election, which was that Russia neither had the intent nor capability to essentially hack.
And Hillary Clinton was bought and paid for already. Uranium One deal, $150 million minimum to the Clinton Global Initiative from investors in Uranium One, Russian oligarchs.
The outcome of the U.S. election. President Obama's political appointees pulled that document before it could be published, and it has not been published until we released it today.
Wow.
And the very next day after they pulled that document, President Obama called a National Security Council cabinet meeting to discuss how Russia interfered with the election.
And they made everything up. And they use the media to cover up their lies and not investigate the fact there was zero evidence of Russia collusion.
Then DNI James Clapper took the lead on what President Obama wanted done, and which was essentially create a document that tells us not if, but how Russia interfered with the election. President Obama delivered the conclusion that he wanted the intelligence community to reach and directed them to find and essentially create and manufacture the intelligence to support the conclusion that President Obama wanted to deliver to the Americans.
That's pure evil, baby. And what else? This is John Solomon. What else did Obama's DOJ could do? Well, they called off any investigation of Hillary Clinton.
We've all known for a long time that James Comey exonerated Hillary Clinton without authority to do so and without finishing his investigation when it came to the classified emails. Tonight, we're going to tell you about the other Clinton investigation.
What was that?
One that was running in 3 separate FBI offices, New York, Washington, and Little Rock. It was a predicated criminal investigation that was examining whether Hillary Clinton ran a pay pay-to-play scheme that delivered favors from her
Uranium One
as Secretary of State, while foreigners and others paid large
Russian oligarchs
sums of money to her family foundation.
The
Clinton Foundation, run by Bill Clinton and their daughter.
Russia collusion was to cover this up.
Eventually, Chelsea Clinton. 3 separate agencies, 3 separate bureaus, offices of the FBI believe they had predicated evidence to pursue that. Every time they tried to move the ball down the road in the shadows of the 2016 election, they got shut down. I mean, they got shut down at the highest levels of their agency. Andrew McCabe, the deputy director, a man who potentially had a conflict of interest with Hillary Clinton. So his wife got money from Hillary Clinton's former campaign chair to run for a Virginia State Senate. And by the way, McCabe attended the meeting where that assistance was solicited. He eventually was conflicted out, but not before he gave the order to his agents that you won't investigate or do anything on this unless I approve it. Downstream from them, 4 different U.S. attorneys' offices under Barack Obama were asked for help by the agents. Agents need help. We need a grand jury. We need to get evidence. We want to move the case down the road.
And
all 3 of those 4 offices told the agents, "You're on your own. We will not assist you in your pursuit of criminal charges against."
They shut down the investigation of Hillary and created false charges, false documents against Donald Trump. Never forget this. They cannot be allowed to be back in power. They cannot be allowed to gain any seats in the midterms. Stay as focused and determined as you were in 2024 and before. That's it. We are dealing with evil people here. Evil must be beaten down. It must be put out of our misery. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Bedford County.
So Casey Means is in congressional hearings to become the Surgeon General of the United States. I haven't been a chance to really cover the hearings much because, there's other stuff going on. But here is Mark Wade Mullen challenging Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has never done anything. Everything he thinks is wrong. He's still a Soviet. He honeymooned in the Soviet Union, and he is very big into socialized medicine, which always is a giant turd burger without the bun. Anyway, yesterday Mark Wade Mullen was pointing out the fact that everything that was promised by Obamacare was a fraud, was a lie, was a joke. Everything's more expensive, and we'll just say that Mark Wade Mullen had old Bernie for lunch.
Because ACA, affordable health care, which is completely unaffordable, has risen 3 times faster than inflation itself. Yet we still support it. Not we, you. The Democrats.
I support a national health care program which will cut the cost of
Give it up, my God, man. You've been talking about it forever. It's not going to happen. It hasn't happened in your moist fantasy of Cuba. It has never worked. We're too big. It ain't going to work. Okay, enough.
Sorry, it's my time.
But you're attacking me.
No,
you're going to attack me. I'm going to respond.
I'm pointing out facts. You can say what you want. I'm just pointing out facts.
No,
the
you're
fact
pointing out lies.
is that it has risen 3 times faster, and we know it.
It was a failure.
Anyways, I ranted too long. Let's talk about some.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask your opinion on that. And if I cared about your opinion, I would ask you. But I don't care about your opinion.
Well,
you're part of the system. You're part of the problem. You've been sitting here longer than I've even been alive.
Yeah.
This is your problem. You should have fixed this a long time ago. You've been railing on it so long. What have you been doing?
I've decided not to run for Surgeon General. You're the nominee. I've decided not to accept that nominee.
That is definitely something we would never accept.
You're a failure. You're a socialist who has 4 homes. You're an oligarch. Here's Jim Gossett as Bernie Sanders.
This land's not your land. This land is our land.
No, my land,
From
right?
the coast of Cali
4 houses
to a New York alley.
Rich beyond belief.
Nothing would be finer than to sell it to China. This land was made for the CCP. Crime is through the ceiling. There's no racial healing. Schools teach CRT. Teachers are trannies. Biden is left wing. He's owned by Beijing. Joe sold his soul to the CCP.
Yeah, he did. $30 billion.
This land's not your land.
Minimum.
This land is our land, and we'll destroy it.
You're trying.
That's what we've got planned.
Why you elected Trump?
2Z will cower till he takes power. This land is for the CCP.
No, it didn't, because we won. There you go. Jim Gossett, Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. James in New Mexico wants to talk. James, welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's up, my friend?
Hey, Rob, I got a real PhD when I was growing up working on the ranch. It's called a post hole digger.
Hey, baby. Now, is it one of those ones with the 2 handles on either side, not one of those electric ones, right?
That's right.
Oh,
That's right. We didn't have electric back then. Hey,
I've used, brother, I've driven a lot of them. I'll just tell you, I've dug a lot of holes, so go ahead.
Yeah, you can learn Spanish in our state because we got nothing but illegal aliens voting here.
I know.
So come on down. They'll teach you how to speak Spanish over here.
I know. New Mexico's a beautiful state, but run by a bunch of morons.
Yeah, hey, I want to mention 2 things here, or 2 people. Pam Bondi Sessions, okay, that's her name now.
Okay.
She's no different than
Pete.
Jeff Sessions when he was the Attorney General. Cash Do Nothing Patel, these 2 people, before they got that job, boy, they were talking about this person and that person needs to be prosecuted and put in jail and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sick of these people. They're just like Carl Higbee said. He said these people are just setting themselves up for a 7-figure paycheck when they get out of there. I'm sick of these people that talk all this crap and do nothing for this country.
Yeah, brother. James, I'll tell you, James, I want some people. It's about damn time that people in government went to jail.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. And
we better start seeing
the do-nothing Republicans, right? You mentioned Mullen. Yeah, it's beautiful that he calls out that freaking old bat that should be out of the Senate. Bernie, four houses, Sanders. Yeah. Look, these people, these politicians are on our side. We're fighting them too because they're not doing a damn thing for us.
I know, brother. Well,
it's unbelievable. We're so pissed off because the only one that is doing something for us is Donald Trump.
Yes, sir.
Nobody else.
This is brother. Now, James, I got to run, brother. This is why he has to win the midterms. That's it. That's all. We are in a war. Are you ready to fight with me?
I am, but the problem is they're expecting Donald Trump to win for them. They got to go out and do it themselves if they want our vote.
And we've got to do it ourselves.
That's the problem with these do-nothing Republicans. But, yes, I do want him. He has to, but he can't do it alone.
I know. It's going to take you and me, too. It's going to take you and me, too, brother. Listen, James, I got to run, okay?
And these people on our side are not helping us at all.
I know. Thanks for the call, bro. Kevin in Temple Hill. Kevin, welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's on your mind?
Hey, Rob, of course, shout out to the Rumble family real quick.
Oh, yes.
I agree with James 100%. I mean, what are these guys doing for us?
I know.
You watch these guys, they act like petulant children at the State of the Union.
Yeah.
You don't clap for a 100-year-old Navy captain. I'm ex-Navy myself, Rob.
Yeah.
I stood up in my house and clapped.
Yeah, me
too. To get the Medal of Honor is one of the greatest honors that a veteran, that an active member could actually get.
Yeah.
And now these people are supposed to be the officers and leaders appointed over us, and you don't stand and clap.
Kevin, we can't go along here, but let me tell you, they exposed themselves, and didn't you think Donald Trump did a great job exposing them, calling them crazy, saying you should be ashamed? It was perfect, right?
Oh, it was perfect. Grand slam, he ran the 2-minute drill effectively.
Oh, brother, it was.
I mean, you gave him the ball and he ran up the gut.
Well, let's see if we can do something about Maryland, because you got a gubernatorial election coming up. I've been listening to WCBM, Sean Casey interviewing these candidates, so we better have somebody in there who could do something, because Westmore's driven that state into a crapper, and it's about time they turned it on. Kevin, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you listening and also watching my Rumbly Ruse, my fans on Rumble. I've got these great communities of people watching on Newsmax social media, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and you guys have become close friends, and you're wonderful people, and you really are a community, and you always welcome new people into the group. And when some troll jackweed tries to come in and say something stupid, you immediately call them out. You do it in a nice way without a lot of profanity and everything. But the community is amazing on Newsmax social media. You guys listen over the air in places like New Mexico on KBQ. You are the best as well. It's the best is yet to come, baby. The best is yet to come. Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto, and Daily Wire joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets to keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/Newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Newsmax.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between. State of the Union scored, approval rate, how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore. Inflation's low, employment's high. The Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure, illegals aren't jetting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between. Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
It's the Rob Carson Show. Normally we reserve this time slot for Christian Toto on Fridays, but he's a little busy tomorrow, so he's joining us on the Newsmax hotline. Hollywood and Toto is the name of his site. He also does a podcast as well, and he's been a friend of mine for a number of years. How are you on this glorious Thursday, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for shaking up your schedule for me. I appreciate it.
No, not at all, not at all. So, you know, I haven't been talking about the Savannah Guthrie case much. We're into the fourth week now. Savannah Guthrie earlier this week came up with $1 million reward, and it sounds like this is, and she's beginning to resign herself to realizing this is probably a recovery of her mother's body. They just don't have anything, Christian. They brought all these FBI agents, and it sounds like the FBI's backing off the investigation. Have you heard anything else?
You know, I haven't. And listen, some crimes cannot be solved in a time where the person can be saved. I don't know what to say about it. It's a terrible situation, and I imagine all the resources at their disposal are being poured into this effort, but if the criminal is clever enough and the tracks have been covered, there's a chance that we can't solve this in the time necessary. So it's just the saddest thing, and the whole world is looking for this person, and you know, there's all these different rewards and tip lines and things, and we just can't quite crack it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I I don't know. I would speculate, but really, honestly, everybody's got an opinion on it. When I originally saw the person who allegedly did this, picking some plants up and rubbing on the lens of the not a Ring doorbell camera, something very similar to it, I thought this guy was a rube, as somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing. We know that the backpack is from Walmart, all these things, and that's hard to trace. And now. They found DNA on a glove, and they just don't have anything. They don't have a match. They don't have a strike. It surprises me though, Christian, that if they found DNA that wasn't Nancy's in a glove, because when I went to I think went to Ancestry.com. That's how I found my biological family, and they found me once my DNA was in that system. They found me. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they don't have the search warrant, or you would think that if even they entered it into Ancestry.com, there would be, not only his genetic makeup, but possibly relatives. I don't even know. But they said that they couldn't find a match in their database. So I have no friggin' idea.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of crimes don't get a fraction of this attention, of this amount of resources. I mean, everything possible is being funneled on the family's behalf, and that's a good thing. Yeah. But, what else can you do at this point? I don't know. I don't know enough about this process to say that someone's doing a poor job. I just think they just can't crack it yet. It's maddening.
By the way, a total number, I guess, is what they're saying initially, of 27.8 million people across the major broadcast networks watched Donald Trump's State of the Union. I thought it was a great speech. Did you enjoy the speech? All hour and almost 2 hours worth of it. I loved it. I'm not a Democrat though.
Yeah, I think what I found important is that he's able to kind of portray these significant differences in black and white with imagery, with a contrast that often you can't quite do that in the media. Sometimes it's even hard on social media. But he has this knack, this showmanship, where he can display the difference, the chasm between the two parties, and he did it beautifully again and again on that night. And you know what? As an American, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that there is that difference.
Yeah, but
between the two parties. It should be about fighting about policy and the best way to move forward. But when you have people who can't stand up for Olympic athletes or can't share some sympathy for a mom who lost her daughter, I just don't know where we are. I really don't. Yeah. That's the sad side of it. I get the fireworks, and I get that he did a good job presenting things. I'm not discounting any of that, but there's a sadness to it for me as well.
Oh, I know, I get it absolutely, but I think that he really did a brilliant job, and his life experience as a playboy and as a real estate developer and in Hollywood, and all of this came together where he used pregnant pauses when he looked at the. I mean, it was really it was as I've said, it was pro wrestling meets P.T. Barnum meets the State of the Union, and he really, I just thought it was remarkable. We're never going to see anything like this again. That's why I relish it so much. I do want to mention something kind of interesting. Listen to this headline. Teens are over superheroes, want to see more connected masculinity on screen. That's what Gen Alpha and Gen Z want to see on screen. According to most recent Teens and Screens survey, the annual report found that kids and young adults, are you ready, 10 to 24, prefer to see on-screen portrayals of fathers enjoying parenthood or fathers showing love to kids by a 5-to-1 margin. Holy hell, Christian. That you'd rather see this than Wolverine trying to kill Predator again. Whatever.
Well, here's the thing. When you fill out a survey, when you answer a question, when you react to a line of questioning, you say certain things. And when you're at a movie theater and you're looking up at the marquee and you've got certain posters about rock'em sock'em action as opposed to a sensitive portrayal of a father and son, on a trip they'll never forget.
Yeah.
Guess what the kids are going to see?
Yeah.
So I throw a little bit of shade at this survey because I think it's nice to say all those things, and we all want those things, but when it comes to entertainment, we want to be entertained. And I think that survey maybe is not taking that fully into account.
Maybe we just need a dad that totally kicks butt. Yeah, they're like me. Thank you. Among the portrayals singled out by the study's author, Noah Wiley in The Pit. Have you watched that show? My daughter got me. It's a damn good show. Listen, we've been hospital genre'd out, bro. From St. Elsewhere to I don't even know. There've been so many of them, but this one,
Grey's Anatomy, ER.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So this is kind of a refreshing take on it. If you watch The Pit, it's actually very good.
No, I'm about to actually. I've been hearing nothing but good things about it. I'm thinking, why am I out of the loop here? So I'll be checking out as soon as possible. But yeah, I like Noah Wiley when he was on the other medical show. But there's room for everything.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I don't know. I read that survey too, and my spider senses started to tinkle out.
All right. Well, maybe a superhero becomes a loser dad who drives a minivan in his private time. I think that's good, like in Incredibles. But by the way, House, the TV show that ended in 2012. I've got 2 Gen Z kids. They're just discovered it the last year. They love that show. They love House. Hugh Laurie.
That's good stuff.
Oh, my God, it's fantastic. One other thing, you have a little article on Hollywood and Toto, pro-Palestinian mob, stunning hypocrisy at Screen 7 debut. What's this all about?
Yeah, well, the actress who was going to be a star in the movie, Melissa Barrera, was kicked out because she said some pretty nasty things about Israel. That was really shortly after the October 7th atrocities. And Hollywood said, no, we don't want to do business with her. Now, her career has come back. She'll be fine. But the pro-Palestinian protesters were still angry at her being booted from the franchise. But the problem is that they like to silence free speech. They dig that. They've been trying to cancel Michael Rappaport, other speakers like Barry Weiss. So you gotta pick a team and gotta pick a page here. If you're a pro-Palestinian protester and you want to protect her free speech, well, then other people are allowed to speak as well. They don't quite get that message.
I'm more against the fact that there have been 7 Scream movies, to be quite honest.
I know. Let it die.
I mean, honestly, haven't we kind of milked this franchise? Hasn't it kind of, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Anyway, Christian Toto, I thank you for taking the time today. HollywoodandToto.com. Where can people find your podcast?
Yep, you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Because the video version, you can see my wonderful face on YouTube. But elsewhere, just the audio, and trust me, that's enough.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. It is a Rob Carson show. Got a bunch of stuff to get to before the end of the show, including this. Wherever Democrats are in charge, there's fraud, and California is a Charlie Foxtrot supreme. As much as, just start to scratch the surface, $250 billion in fraud, whether it be the high-speed rail debacle, the homeless debacle, this massive amount of fraud with regard to hospice care. They created all these hospices in strip malls. It's tied into the Russian mafia. And, of course, all overseen by the comptroller of the state of California, who missed it all. And then there's this coming out of the L.A. Unified School District. On top of everything else, by the way, Catherine Herridge is doing a big piece on the amount of children, the number of children who are sexually abused by people in the education system, in the public education system. I'll have details on this. It is sobering, to say the least. But this is happening in the L.A. Unified School District.
The L.A. Unified School Board is borrowing another $250 million in bonds to settle claims of sexual misconduct. These latest bonds are in addition to the $500 million authorized less than a year ago. This is according to the L.A. Times. The extra money is needed because of a bill that extended the statute of limitations for filing civil lawsuits regarding childhood sexual abuse. The total cost, including financing, is expected to exceed $1 billion. The money will be.
And what they did is they moved these instructors around. They moved these kids around when there are allegations, proven allegations of abuse. This is Herb Morgan. He is a candidate for comptroller that oversees all this nonsense in California.
This comes amid an ongoing federal investigation, with searches also reported at related sites in Miami, where he
By the way, I'll just mention this. The superintendent, Alberto Carvalho, of the L.A. Unified School District, is $77 million missing. Student attendance records falsified. Additional search in Florida from his previous role as Miami-Dade superintendent shows $76.7 million in missing money. Approved Prop 28 funds that were meant for hiring new arts and music teachers, all gone. This guy, his home was raided yesterday. I'll get to that in a second.
Previously led schools. What is the FBI likely looking for? Based on the timing, the swirling accusations, it's most likely tied to serious financial misconduct. LA Unified School District, our nation's second largest, has been under fire for having mishandled billions in taxpayer dollars. Think inflated attendance numbers to grab more state funding, potential misuse of millions earmarked for arts and music programs under Proposition 28. Agents are seizing documents, emails, and devices to uncover fraud or corruption in how these funds are managed. But that's not all. Just yesterday, reports hit that LAUSD is borrowing another $250 million to settle a flood of childhood sexual abuse claims.
Who in the hell are in charge of our god-dang schools? What the hell? As though you could be more angry at the people running our public schools than this. I mean, honestly, you look at the schools, public schools in Maryland, Baltimore, they're crap holes that fail our kids. Now you've got an entire massive 500,000 kids in this school district. What a Charlie Foxtrot supreme. What a cabal of union-fed mostly Democrats. I swear to God. Here's a story about the superintendent's home raid yesterday.
Well, the scene here in San Pedro remains much quieter than it was, certainly compared to this morning. But we are learning some new information about this investigation. Details about the specifics, why the FBI was here, are not immediately known, but we can report from multiple sources that this is white collar, it is not violent, and the investigation is not related to immigration. Again, here's another look at Carvalho's home right now here in San Pedro, much quieter compared to around 6 o'clock this morning. That's when neighbors tell me they came outside and saw multiple officers with guns drawn, pointed at the Carvalho home.
Yeah, we will follow that as it develops, but I swear to God. There was a time when $2,000 gold felt like it was a ceiling that the market kept bumping up against, a barrier that seemed almost impossible to reach. This according to MSN. That era feels like a different world now. In just the past 12 months, the price of gold has done things no one thought it would ever do before, rewriting what investors thought was impossible for the precious metal. Gold's all-time high now stands at, are you ready for this? $5,589.38, which was just last January 28th. This year, just a few weeks ago. That's an all-time price record. Didn't just edge past prior highs either. It reset the ceiling in a way that would have sounded unrealistic to investors just 1 year ago. In 2024 and 2025, trading at levels that already felt elevated by historic standards, crossing $3,000 and $4,000 per ounce was once considered a big psychological milestone for gold, but it went to almost $5,600 last month. And it's on the way back. It's almost $5,200 again. It is an amazing run by gold, and it's only getting more valuable. And if you'd like to have it in your portfolio, I would recommend Birch Gold. You know that I deal with Birch Gold. They're the company I choose. I hope you choose them because I trust them. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. They're going to give you useful information, send you info with a free gold kit, which is nice. If you decide you want to talk to them, you can talk to them, and then when you decide to pull the trigger, they'll get on the phone with the proprietor of your IRA or 401k. They'll exchange numbers, and all you got to do is just go, okay. There you go. Maybe you do some DocuSign on an email, and boom, there you go. A-plus rating from the BBB, tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. That's peace of mind, kids. Text Rob to 989898. That's Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text RULE to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text RULE to 215215. That's RULE.
This roundtable is our latest event in.
Not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely.
There's a very effective and powerful speech last night from the President of the United States.
Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hunter lied on a gun application form. Wesley Snipes, convicted 3 counts of tax evasion in 2008 for bilking Uncle Sam on taxes up to $15 million.
That new documents we got showed that Bonnie Rose was recording.
Remember the guy Jersey Shore star Mike? Yeah. Anyway, 8-month sentence for skirting $2.3 million in taxes. Not Hunter.
John Hannity. Weekdays 3 to 6 on Talk Radio 680 WCVM.
All right, kids. The show's about over here today. There's a lot of stuff going on. Benny Johnson posting on Twitter, X. I cannot believe this is happening. Hillary Clinton just stormed out of the Epstein deposition because I posted a photo of her testifying. Now the Clinton PR team is crying about me to the press. This is insane. That's interesting. That's interesting. Hillary Clinton saying, I never met with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know anything about this. Yeah, please. I mean, give me a break. He helped you set up, by the way. set up the Clinton Foundation. Everybody knows that. He was instrumental in it, and your husband was thick as thieves with Jeffrey Epstein. And he had a penchant for younger women. I don't remember. You remember that? Yeah, he had a penchant for younger women. So there is that. Epstein files claims another scout. The president of the World Economic Forum, the WEF, president of the World Economic Forum, which organizes the annual Davos Summit, has quit following speculation over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Borje Brenda said on Thursday he was stepping down a few weeks after the forum launched an independent investigation into his relationship with the late sex offender. It's big and ugly. You found out that Bill Gates says he had affairs with 2 Russian prostitutes. Sure, affairs, okay. Whatever. Harvard suspends a professor in the Epstein scandal just hours after one of the most famous academics stepped down for honeymooning on Pato Island. Harvard mathematics professor placed on administrative leave after his Epstein ties were exposed just an hour after former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers resigned from teaching at the college due to his own links to Jeffrey Epstein. It is hard to say, right? Isn't this a little breathtaking for the average person to grasp that there could be people like this in the world? CBS contributor Dr. Peter Attia resigned following his release of disturbing emails with Epstein. I've got the email right here. The subject, got a fresh shipment. The note to Epstein, the biggest problem with becoming friends with you, the life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul. Then he said, female genitalia described with the P word. P word is indeed low carb. Still awaiting results on gluten content, though. He no longer has a job with CBS. I don't even know, guys. I swear to God. We are in the throes of a battle of good and evil, right? We all agree with that. We are in the throes of the battle of good and evil. And all of this has exposed its flanks so we can kick its butt. All of this fraud in California and in our nation's capital and in Minnesota and this. All of this is exposing itself, and I think we are in this movement. This is a godly movement. This is a confluence of a lot of things. We're in this together. We are in this together, and we're going to win because we're going to be warriors for good, right? We are the reaction to the action of evil, and we're going to win. We've got to win in the midterms. So get involved now, warriors, okay? Let's do that. Have a glorious and blessed day. God bless our nation as founded Donald Trump as he makes it even better, even better, even better. And God bless you. And until tomorrow, which is Friday, by the grace of God, do not catch the stupid. You've been inoculated. Thank you very much. See you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.